Welcome back everybody, Natsu here once again. This is gonna be my review for Virtua Fighter. Now before I start with my review, I wanna make something real clear. I love Virtua Fighter as a franchise. It has been one of my favorite games, and I'm saying this because few people say, oh, you're talking that because now it's fun and stuff like that. I'm saying no. I have played Virtua Fighter, some Virtua Fighter 1, Virtua Fighter 2, Virtua Fighter 3 when it came out, it wasn't that popular. But when Virtua Fighter 4 came, especially the Evolution version in PS4, I did grind the offline mode, and I was playing that game all the time alone because nobody played that. And keep in mind, when Virtua Fighter 5 came, finally the only person that played that game was me and my brother. And we played that game for almost 10 years all alone. I mean, he played online using the when using PlayStation 3, I think, on Xbox 360. I might be wrong on that, but I know he played online. I didn't like to play online because the netcode was horrible. Now, having said that, let's start with the negatives of what I think about this version, Ultimate Showdown, and then we're gonna finish on a positive note with the positive stuff and the pros, etc., etc. So first thing that I think this game needs to get fixed, and the number one thing is inviting your friends to a room. I cannot tell you how annoying it is trying to look for my friend's room because there is no invitation option. Now, I know that some people review the game before and they will say, oh, it's gonna make sense when you see it. You know what? I know they give you the game free. The game is free for everybody now, but it doesn't matter. But to be honest, they need to fix that. It's too old school for that, and to be honest, the way, and I'm so happy that there is a lot of players. If it was back on 2005, maybe this would have worked without any issues. But even though, if I remember correctly, there was an option to inviting you to a session. I might be wrong, but I'm almost 90% sure about this. Now, having said that, right, and the reason why I say they need to fix this is that I have sometimes looked for 3 minutes straight to get into a room because I cannot find it. Even doing like a filter by players, I mean the number of players and the passcode, etc., is too stupid. You know, like I don't know what we're thinking. Now, second negative point, if when you're on a room match, and this doesn't happen in ranked, I wanna specify this. On ranked, this doesn't happen. But if you're in a room and you make it so that instead of being single elimination, the first to 2 or the first to 10, if that happens, usually, to be honest, every time I have chosen or people have chosen first to 10, the system will disconnect you. Now, this issue is happening only on the host side. So when the host get disconnected and he gets stuck in the fighting screen, but the person that is the second player, or the person that didn't create the room, he gets kicked out back to the lobby, and he needs to wait for a system to disconnect the host, so he can get back to the lobby and then play again. Now, to be honest, that's really annoying. So far, the max thing we have seen by testing several times is that only once I was able to get to the five first wins without getting disconnected, and that's happening to a lot of users. I'm not sure why nobody's talking about this, and to be honest, that needs to be fixed. Now, I think there's a quick fix. Again, these two things I say negatively, even though I think they should be patched already. It can be fixed, but I hope Sega is able to do this way faster. Faster than sooner than later, right? Now, another thing I want to mention is customization for characters. That will be my third point. And you might be saying, hey Natsu, but what you're talking about, there's so much customization in this game, and even though you pay for a DLC $10, right, you have a lot of options. And to be honest, the thing is that no, and I'm not saying no because of the price tag of $10. Don't get me wrong, I paid those $10 gladly. What I'm saying is that if you're somebody that played the game before, you know there's a lot of stuff that are missing from the characters in an aspect of customizing them. There's like costumes that are not available, also winning pose, etc. So it feels those options were left out. I hope that there might be a DLC in the future, but to be honest, if there are a DLC in the future, I don't want it to be like, hey, here's the next DLC in 2 months. I think they should have thrown all that from the get-go. Hey, this is for $10 for this and this and this, or maybe like Arc System does, like for example, hey, you want the colors for the main character, it's gonna be like 5 characters, and for those 5 characters, if you want all the colors of it or the things that they have, you're gonna pay $10. I think that's okay. The problem is that I will have like that. That's more like a nitpicking about me. But yeah, I think they should have done this a little bit different. Or hopefully, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe next week there's a new DLC. But seeing as Virtua Fighter came out of nowhere, to be honest, the marketing in this game is kind of weird. Because I know last year they put a small trailer, a teaser, but all of a sudden here's Virtua Fighter. That's kind of weird. Now the fourth thing I want to mention is there's no replays available at this time. If there is, I don't know where to get them because I did try to look for them. Now, having said that, the next thing, even though you can, if you're on PlayStation, you can use the share button and record your matches, and yeah, that's cool and all, but I wish they could have implemented a replay option like Tekken. Back in the day, the old version had a replay option, so that's why it's kind of weird, because I understand that this is like a really bare bone version of the game, even though it's a complete game, at least on game mechanics, on balance, etc. Now, having said all the negatives, let's go to the positive, because to be honest, I believe that the graphics on the game, even though there's some people say it looks outdated in some aspect, because even though they remade it, I think it looks great, and it holds up to today's standards. Obviously, if you want to see something like PlayStation 5 graphic, that's a different thing altogether. But I think the graphic looks great, and it's really amazing seeing the difference between this version and Final Showdown. Okay. Now, another positive is that this game, for what I'm understanding right now, at least this month is free, but it supposedly will be 2 months free. So get the game now, because to be honest, it's an awesome game. I don't know why nobody will try to pick it up. Just download it now, or just add it to the list, and that will be in your library forever. And if you don't want to play it later down the line, or if you want to play it later down the line because you are too busy doing something now, etc., just go and download it. And please support this game, because I think this game is really awesome. And I've been seeing that a lot of people are loving this game, and to be honest, that's so refreshing, because this is the first time I have been seeing like there's Virtua Fighter hype. Usually, Virtua Fighter was like a bunch of weird people that hang around in a forum in virtuafighter.com. So it's kind of weird seeing people like, oh, this game's really awesome, I didn't know about this, oh, I'm having so much fun, etc., etc. Now, the last point I want to talk about is the netcode. Now, I saw the Maximilian video and other people talking about the netcode. To be honest, and I live, full disclosure, I live in Puerto Rico. That's part of Latin America, but that's on the Caribbean. For what I'm understanding, if the servers are not close by to you, you might have issues on your netcode. But at this moment, I have played with people that in cases like if I have played with people that when I played with them in Street Fighter 5, they will lag a shit ton, like a lot of, it was annoying. You couldn't play. So even though it's delay based, and to be honest, I don't feel that delay compared to Dragon Ball Fire C, which is a delayed netcode, even though it can jump the delay. And that's something that Virtua Fighter doesn't do. It always maintains that if it's a delay of 4 frames, it's gonna stick like that. And And I think it's an interesting way to solve this issue. Regarding if I think it needs GPO, for me it's working. To be honest, I don't think Sega's gonna add GPO. Maybe if they do for Virtua Fighter 6, but this is an interesting solution, and for what I'm seeing, you know, it works awesome. Even though I have heard people from Latin America and also Middle Eastern that they're having issues with this, and I apologize that you're having that kind of issue. Hopefully, maybe what they need to do is Sega get more servers. But I think that might be like Maximilian said, it might not be cost effective. But for now, to be honest, this is one of the fighting games that I love playing online, and I cannot stress that enough. I hate with a passion playing Street Fighter 5, especially online, because I like the game, but the netcode is horrendous, and that can detergent and change my appreciation of a game. And to be honest, I prefer not playing those kind of games where I say, hey, I cannot react to anything because the netcode is stupid or is jumping, etc. So in that regard, I think Sega did an awesome job with the netcode, even though I was really afraid when they say, oh, it's delayed netcode and it's based on our netcode we used before. And I was like, crap, man, are you kidding me? It's 2021. Like, why are you using that netcode? That netcode was horrible. To like, real talk, people. That netcode, I played it back in the day, and I think I stuck 1 week playing the game online because it was horrendous. I couldn't evade, I couldn't do sabaki, I couldn't punish, etc. I did play the game, but it was offline with my brother. And to be honest, I love my brother. But sometimes you want to play with more people across the world, or different people altogether, right? Now, having said that, in closing, I believe this game is awesome. Please support it once again. You know, it's a lot of fun. It's super deep and technical. If you're somebody that likes, you know, if you're somebody that like fighting games but you want to be smart about it, and because especially people are saying, oh, Guilty Gear Stripe is for babies, and you want a super deep technical game, well, Virtua Fighter is a game for you. You can play your character the way you want it to do, and you don't, like, for example, if you see one player using Jackie, even though they might use the same string, they can play completely different from each other, because maybe one is using more frame data, or another one is using more movement, or another one is using the stances, etc, etc. The possibilities are limited. So to be honest, again, support this game, download it, it's available right now, and yeah, see you online. Hopefully playing Virtua Fighter with me, and always remember to like and subscribe, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.